Hi, everybody. It's Tara Boothby and Tony Zerbin. Tony is our friend. He joined us back in the spring when we talked all sorts of things about somatic and body stuff, which is Tony's passion. Tony is proud to update that he has his master's from City University in, is it counseling psychology?
Yeah, Masters of Counseling.
Oh, what a good feeling, hey?
Oh, so good.
It's so good. It's worth just soaking that up. So Tony and I, we are buddies. We like chatting about all things psychology and philosophy of psychology. Tony was just, bringing up this interesting piece to me about what is going on for all of us during COVID when we're isolated from our pack. So what do you think? What do you mean by that, Tony? What does it mean to be isolated from your pack?
Sure. Okay, so one of the key things I've been really learning through a lot of the training I've been doing around trauma is that trauma hits us not so much in the rational thinking part of our brain. It goes deeper. It goes into the emotional part of our brain where we're always sensing or assessing where am I in relationship to other people. That's a big part of what our emotions do. And that part of our brain, by people like Bessel van der Kolk, gets referred to as the pack part of the brain, right? Uh, do we approach each other with a smile? Do we approach each other with a frown? That's kind of how we assess, hey, where am I in my pack? So one of the beautiful things is when you've got a good pack that's got your back, it's so much easier to carry the stresses and the responsibilities of life because you're not doing it alone. COVID's changed a lot of the rules for us and a lot of the familiar landscape about what it means to be a part of a pack because we're being told, hey, for health and safety, and I think there's a lot to that. For health and safety, you got to be careful how you approach your own pack, even,
Yes, yes.
right?
I love what you're saying here because and so wisely noticing we rely on our central nervous systems. We get used to feeling the good pack energy and the bad pack energy. So now in
Yeah,
COVID, I'm sitting in my house. It's a lot harder for me to tune into your energy, especially if you're not trained. Like as
yeah,
we're trained to pick up better via Zoom, but that's hard. It's really an important thing to notice.
oh, it's so challenging, right? And we get a lot of that sense of what a person's energy is just from all the little micro expressions, how they carry their body, their shoulders, what happens with their smile, their eyes. And masks, they add a layer to that. So, I mean, we can say, oh, masks suck. I would say masks suck, but I do my part to really kind of carry them. And I think a big part of it is how do we adapt? How do we become more sensitive to other cues people have if we can't always see what's going on with their mouth? How do we learn more body language so that when we're out and about, we can still get a sense of, okay, am I okay in this context I'm in?
Right.
Am I are these people a threat to me in my pack or are they safe? Are they also trying to support me in my pack?
Yes. Yep. Yes, it's interesting. And then it's this strangeness of where is my pack? So prior to COVID, we'd know, what is the pack, the family pack? What is the
Yeah.
workplace pack? What is the sort of community pack or the team pack? But now
Yeah, yeah.
that energy, that understanding the safety or how to have courage to exist in that pack,
Hmm.
everything feels different.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, such an important part of being part of a pack is how we play together. And um, there's a lot of things in life we can't do much about. There's a lot of the cards that we get dealt that are just out of our control, and we kind of need to be able to weather it. Um, and how we weather that better is by letting our hair down, playing with our pack, finding people that we can just connect with, sit beside, sit up against, or play card games with, or these kinds of things. But those moments of connection in our pack are so important. So I mean, if our rules around how we get together have changed, I think now the big question is how do we creatively adapt? How do we look more intentionally at what we do to make sure we're connecting with some kind of group, some kind of team, some kind of pack?
Yes, and being finding opportunity. I think right now what's really key, especially in job situation, is how do I have
Hmm.
the courage to seek out mentorship, to consult with colleagues, to say, I don't know. I think all of these
Yeah,
things are way harder than they were when we were face to face. I
yeah,
don't get to sit in the lunchroom eating my sandwich and making silly jokes with somebody, understanding that safe and
yeah.
I feel good with you. So when I make a mistake, I can come to you.
Oh, exactly. I mean, so much of that play that we have is really how we get a sense of each other's boundaries, each other's limits, and how we can test the field even to say, hey, is it okay? Is it safe for me to approach somebody and ask for help? I mean, we don't have these little opportunities for um, informal connection like that. It does get harder. So you're absolutely right. Now it's like, how do we find more courage to jump over gaps
Yeah.
and reach out for help?
Yes. And what a beautiful word or phrase. Jump over gaps. That's so it, right? Because prior to COVID, there's the guy who's been at the company for 40 years. I walk down the hallway to him. Or there's the team captain.
Yeah,
Or, there's the pastor, or there is the school principal. There's my people that I can connect with. Or teacher, but
yeah, yeah.
there's a gap. There's this extra hurdle. So when I'm feeling shameful or insecure about my flaws, which we all have,
Yeah.
it's harder. Now I can't just trick myself into walking up and say, hey, Professor so and so, could you help me out here? I have to email and I have to push send and then I have to sit and wait.
Hmm.
And I don't
Yeah,
know professor's energy.
yeah. You can't read their face that day the same kind of way.
Exactly. And then the whole other piece is that written communication or even phone, Zoom, there's so much more potential to be taken the wrong way.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole other form of communication. It's not impossible to do, but man, this is a big reorientation. There's
Yes.
a whole new skill set we need for this kind of life.
Yeah. So what I hear here is this awareness. Number one, we all face shame and we all are insecure about our inabilities or our learning curve.
Hmm.
But two, take courage.
Yeah.
There's a gap. No, there's a gap that you're going to have to reach over and jump over. That's the courage piece. And then this realistic expectation that it's going to be harder to decipher, or
Yeah.
it's going to be harder to know for certain the intent of the message that we're given.
Yeah. And I think in that it's a word I really love because it just captures it so well is that we need grace. I know that's often a very Christian word, but I think even whatever context you're in, we need grace for ourselves because there are so many gaps that we don't know what we don't know, and we need grace for other people too because we don't know what they don't know.